Hello everyone, Umesh Bharadkar here. In today's video, we are going to learn how to create a pop-up component in PowerApps. Here we can see this pop-up appearing on current screen. This is delete confirmation pop-up and it asks the user to confirm for deleting a record. Here we can see when I am clicking on this delete icon, this pop-up is appearing on this current screen. So in today's demo, we will see how to create this pop-up inside the Power Apps. So let's start. Okay, so first, the today's we will cover these top three topics inside this uh, video. The first one is what is pop-up, why do we use pop-up, how to create a pop-up. So first, what is the pop-up? A pop-up is a small window or message that appears on top of the current screen or app. It usually shows important information or asks the user to take an action. Why do we use pop-up? First, to display warning message. For example, if you want to warn a user to enter a valid email address, you can use a warning pop-up. Second, confirmation pop-up. If you want the user to confirm before taking any action, you can use a confirmation pop-up. So in today's demo, we will see how to create confirmation pop-up. The third is to display the notification. So when a form is submitted successfully, you can show a success message. So the user can identify their form has submitted successfully. Then last, ask for any input. So here, let me give one example. As an approver, if you want to add a comment while approving or ejecting the request, you can use a pop-up to collect the comment. So basically, we can do one thing. On approve or reject button, we can display one pop-up, and inside this pop-up we can ask the approver to add a comment. So this type of pop-up we can create. Okay, so let's start the demo. So how to create a pop-up component. Okay, so these are the 4 steps here, major 4 steps I have added here. So let's start. Okay, first I will go to the component. Inside this component section, let me add first new component. So let me give the name as confirmation pop-up. Okay, now let me set the width and height of this pop-up. Okay, let me set the app.width. Okay, and the height, let me add the height as app.height. Okay, now I will change the field property of the component and setting as transparent color so the user can understand that a pop-up is open on screen. So let me set the transparent color. So first let me select any color, okay, which you want. So using the last digit, we can set the transparent color. So here let me set 0.5 transparency. Okay, now here the background is created for the component. So now inside this background, after this background, let me add one vertical container. So inside this vertical container, we can add all the required controls. So here I have added this vertical container. Let me set the color as white. Now here I will set the border radius as 25. Okay. Now to align this container as in a enter, so let me set the X position as, okay. Now inside this vertical container, let me add all the required controls. So now first let me add one icon for delete. Okay. So here let me select the delete. So let me search the delete icon. Okay. Here let me set the height as 42 or width same. Okay. Let me set the color palette as red. Now let me add one label for the pop-up heading. Okay. So let me set as, okay. Now here let me set the font color as red and font size let me add as a 18. Okay. Now here let me give the heading as delete. Okay. Now let me add one another label for confirmation message. So for now just let me add the label. I will show you how to dynamically show this or how to dynamically display this message. Okay, so I will show you, but for now just set, let me set this label. Okay, now here we need two buttons for delete confirmation pop-up. So one is delete button and another is cancel button. So let me add one horizontal container to add those two buttons. Now inside this horizontal container, let me add two buttons. So let me set the container gap as 20, and here I will set the alignment as center for both the buttons. So here we can see this is the one properties here or setting we can also call. So inside this display there is one setting called horizontal. So inside this let me set the center alignment. So now let me give the name as delete. Okay, here also we can add the icon. Okay, so now here the pop-up is ready, but now this pop-up is a static pop-up, we cannot use as a dynamic. So now let me show you how to use this dynamically. Basically it means as a developer we need to focus every component should be used as a reusable component. So here let me show how to use this component as a reusable. Okay, so here let me create one new property. So we will create three properties, custom properties. So first is the confirmation message. Okay, so here we can see there are few property types are available. So from this four data type, let me select the data, because for now only we need a only data type, not any event or trigger such type of, just as we need to use confirmation as a text. So here I'm selecting data. You can explore what are the property type here. Here they have given all the descriptions for each property. Okay, here we can see. So let me select the data. Inside this property definition, there are two type of definition here they have described. One is input and output. So now here I'm selecting the input. Now here, to display the message, here we need only the text data type. So here there are multiple types of data types are available, but now here only need a text. So let me select the text. So here it created. Now let me create two more custom property, one for delete button and another for cancel button. So let me create one property name as delete on click. So now here we need a property type as event. So why event? Okay, so this is the main question, why event, right? So basically here we can see there are all the types, right? So here let me select the event. Why? This type of property allows you to create an event that the component can trigger and then be handled by the app. So basically it handled by the app. So once you have selected this event property and you have added any code on that property, so it will handle automatically. It means it similarly work as a on click property, or sorry, on select property of a button, right? So here let me select the event data type. So here no need any such data type for this event property. Okay, so here let none. Similarly, let me create one another custom property for cancel on click. Okay, now here we have three custom properties for this pop-up component. So let me show you how to access this custom property. Okay, so for now, let me show you how to. So for example, for this message, let me access this confirmation message property. Okay, let me show you how to use it. Okay, so first let me add the message inside this. From here we can access it, or also inside this left properties we can see all the custom properties including their default properties, right? So here I can see this is the confirmation message. So here inside this confirmation message, let me add, are you sure you want to delete this request? Okay, so now here let me access this property with this message. Okay, so let me see how. So here for this label, let me select this text property. From here also we can select this text property. So inside this text property, first we need to take our component name. So here for my for this component, the name is confirmation popup. Okay. Now here we need a property, right? Which we have created recently. So here let me access the confirmation message. So see, here it has automatically changed. So for example, here let me change. Okay, let me add any another word like it automatically change here. So this is the main benefit of this custom property. Okay, now let me show how to access this delete on click custom property, because this is the event property, right? So let me show. Okay, so here on select property of a button, let me same in a same syntax we need to use the custom property. So first we need a component name, then we need the custom property. So for delete button, let me select the delete on click custom property. So now here is the event, right? So we need to trigger. So here using this open and close bracket, we can access this event property. Okay, type property type. So now similarly for a cancel button, let me add this custom property code inside this on select property. Okay, now let me set the color for both buttons. So for first delete icon, let me select the font color as font color, not not font color. Let me select the color palette as red, this color palette, or for cancel button, let me select this color palette. Okay, so now here is the pop-up is ready. Let me set the height as okay. So see, here the pop-up is ready. Now let me show you how we can access this pop-up inside any screen. So for example, let me add on this dashboard screen. Okay. Okay. So here let using this inside the custom, we can access the this component. So here is our component which currently we created. Okay, so now let me add this confirmation pop-up. So once we have added this pop-up, it always needs to open and close this pop-up based on our action. So here, so for visibility we need to set one variable. So for this pop-up, let me use this var show delete confirmation pop-up. Okay, so let me set this variable on click of this delete icon. Okay, so here let me use the update because the visible property is a boolean type of property, so always we need to pass true and false. So here let me pass the variable as boolean. Okay, so here I have used this as a true, and let me set one more variable for collect the this is the best practice. Also we can access this request using gallery dot selected item, but best practice is to store this item inside one variable. So this is the best practice. Okay, so now let me use let me copy this update context function and let me add on. So here also see, now this is the main benefit of custom property. Okay, so this is my component. In when I'm clicking on this component, we can access all the custom properties, including their all default properties. So here we can see this is cancel on click, which we have created, right? Confirmation message, delete on click. So here let me select delete on click. Okay, so let me add first remove call order. So here I have used collection because just demo purpose. Here I'm using a collection, but you can use a list or anything. Okay, sorry. uh, okay, now let me set this as, okay, so let me copy this update context function and will add on cancel on click property. Okay, so on this cancel button just need to hide this pop-up. Okay, so that's why I'm adding only this variable as a false. Okay, so also here we can see the confirmation message. So this is one property which we created, right? So here now let me show you how we can display the confirmation message. So here let me use the concatenate function to concat the string as we expected. Okay, so now here, so basically here I'm adding the order number because on click of a delete icon we can capture which record we are deleting, right? So that's why I'm, because this is the confirmation purpose, so always you need to provide exact information inside this before any take any action. So here let me add one number. Okay, so user can identify which record they are deleting. Okay, now here we can see here I'm clicking on this order number. Okay, so see this pop-up will appear on current screen. Okay, once I clicked on delete button, so here we can see, so first, so here this is the confirmation delete before deleting a record. Okay, always you need to create one pop-up. So this is the best practice. Instead of direct delete, always ask the user or to confirm that which we are deleting, right? So here we can see, are you sure you want to delete this request? So here we can see the order number. So if I want to delete this, let me click on delete, right? So why the confirmation pop-up is required? For example, if you want to delete a order number ALC003 but accidentally you have selected this ALC001. Okay, so here you have the chance to confirm which record we are deleting, right? Sorry, here let me, okay, so you have the chance to before deleting this record. Okay, so that's why always provide a confirmation pop-up. Okay, so now here I need to delete this ALC001 So let me delete this. See, here we can see. Okay. So similarly, on click of a cancel button, it automatically close this pop-up. Here we can see, right? So this is the confirmation pop-up. So the best practice to use this confirmation pop-up always when you are adding any delete functionality or anything. Okay. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and share if you found this video helpful.